Hello, world. Welcome to another week of Golf Subpar. Colt Knost and Drew Stoltz going to break down the 2021 PGA Championship. Our guy, Phil Mickelson, 50 years young, gets the job done, Sleaze.
I mean, dude, I don't know that I've ever been more exhausted after just watching a golf tournament. That thing was a roller coaster starting on Saturday all the way until the final putt dropped on Sunday. There were times where I thought I was pretty sure he was going to have a 6-shot lead at one point, and I was like, God, he might just run away and hide from everyone. This might be a snooze fest. And then fast forward 2 or 3 holes later, I was like, well, now he's blowing it. And he might not even be within 3 by the end of the day on Saturday. And it was just back and forth. I mean, you couldn't have a more vintage Phil weekend than we got from him. You saw some unbelievable golf where he looked flawless, unbeatable, and some where you're like, oh my God, this thing's getting out of hand. But it was one of the most fun major championships I've watched in a long time. Maybe 2019 Tiger type stuff. Masters.
It was so cool to watch. It was so cool to be there. I was behind the 18th green when he was finishing up, got to give him a hug as he walked off the 18th green. What a cool moment. I mean, something I don't think, other than Phil and maybe some of his team, I don't think we thought this day was going to come. I mean, he has had no form when he's played on the PGA Tour. He's done great on the PGA Tour champions. But to go out in a major championship, 99 of the top 100 in the world, at a place like Kiawah Island, the ocean course, which in my mind didn't set up that great for him, he goes out and puts on an unbelievable performance.
Yeah, like you said, I don't think anyone outside of Phil's camp was looking at Phil and being like, yep, this is the week. But, I mean, talking with some of the players, they said, like, you could see some little glimpses here and there. We saw a little bit at Quail Hollow where he came out there with the opening round, lead there, and there was some good golf. But even going into the weekend, Colt, like, I don't know what you thought. I was like, all right, he's leading. He's tied for the lead. This is really cool. At least he's going to be here. We're going to get Phil on a weekend in contention at the majors. But I was like, you're almost just waiting for that one bad swing or that one bad run or something disastrous to happen. You just never know with Phil what you're going to get. And then he comes out on Saturday, puts that 4 under on the board on the front 9 where he looked perfect. Birdie 10, and that was the point of the tournament where I was like, on 11, I was like, he has a chance to go to 6 here. This is crazy. I was always like throughout the weekend kind of like, when is this going to turn? When's Phil going to do some Phil stuff? And he never did. I was rooting for him the entire time, but there's just no sure things with him out there, especially on that golf course. I mean, you were out there, dude. How good did they do with that place, being that they made it was really tough, it was really hard, but they didn't cross that line like we've seen sometimes with the USGA to where it got weird and it just got unfair.
No, it was awesome. Kerry Haig is arguably the best in the business at setting up golf courses. Did an unbelievable job. Yeah, it was extremely hard. I mean, the wins 3 of the 4 days were brutal, but they set it up fair where if you played well, you got rewarded. If you didn't, you got punished. And I mean, look at the end of the day. I mean, if you look at the leaderboard, I think Harry Higgs was the only guy in the top 5 that was under 30 years old, which is pretty impressive because that's a place you had to really think your way around, really be patient, and the maturity, of these veterans paid off.
Yeah, it's not a place where you can just attack like you can a lot of times on the PGA Tour. Like Padraig Harrington came out and had a great week that week. It was nice to see Ricky Fowler, kind of with a quiet top 10 there, but he was in 4th going into his 72nd hole. He had a good week. It was fun, but how about the scene dude, you were down there. That scene on 18, I mean, that was a shit show. It was fun to watch. I love when the gallery, like you see it at the U.S. Open, when they come up and they follow the players, but like, clearly, the security people at Kiawah weren't expecting either that many people or that many people that quickly because they couldn't get their hands around it. I mean, Phil, after he had his second shot on 18, had to like fight his way through the crowd. Dudes were jumping all over him like he just did a keg stand at the Lambda Chi house. It was nuts.
It was cool to see. I felt bad for Brooks Koepka because that tournament wasn't over. I mean, it was 2 shots. If Brooks happens, I mean, he could have hold his wedge. He makes birdie, then you make Phil have to 2-putt to get the victory. It got a little out of hand, but at the end of the day, with Phil winning, it's so cool to see that scene, that atmosphere. I mean, just emerge from the crowd. I had an incredible video of it from behind the green where it's just this huge wall of people, and then all of a sudden here comes Phil, the champ, through the middle of the gallery, thumb up in the air. So cool to see. Was so happy for him. I mean, it was an emotional win, and it's going to go down as one of the greatest performances in golf history, maybe in sports history, being 50 years old to beat one of the best fields you'll ever play against.
Yeah, dude, those thumbs of his got to be on life support after this week. I mean, he was wearing those things out. And I feel like even in that moment in 18 when Phil was having to work his way through the crowd, guys were jumping on him, it was like it wasn't done. Like you said, like it feels done to us. It might appear done after that second shot, but like as a player, it ain't done till the final putt drops. And you could tell, like, I don't think he was all the way enjoying that moment. He was just kind of like, I still got work to do. And then afterwards, when it all erupted, I was like, he's done a lot of cool stuff in the game of golf. I think when it's all said and done, when he puts the clubs away and he's not playing anymore, he looks back on that moment, on that 18th green to do it at the age of 50 and accomplish what he accomplished pretty much out of the blue. And with that environment, might be like one of his, if not the best, one of his favorite memories of his entire career.
Yeah, hats off to Phil Mickelson on his 6th major championship. Can't wait to have you on Golf Subpar and learn even more about the great Phil Mickelson. Because he asked me, when are we going to have him on? I said, Phil, the floor is yours. You tell me, we will be in Rancho Santa Fe, wherever the hell you want us. We will be there. It might take 2 days to film this whole thing, but we will get it done.
We'll give him every minute. He wants to go 3 hours, Joe Rogan style. We could talk about aliens, cryptocurrency, whatever kind of weird shit he wants to talk about. We'll get into all of it with him. We'll fly to Juneau, Alaska to meet him, but we got to get him. We're going to get him. This may have delayed that a little bit. He's going to have a few media obligations right now, but we got to make sure we get out there and get Philly. But damn, man, what a win. I mean, that was cool to watch, and it had everything you want in terms of entertainment and emotion that entire weekend. That's a tough one to top. We're not going to see a major like that for a long time. Right? It's going to take something special. Right.
Well, this week's episode is going to be tough to top. We have 2 beauties joining us. We did our first combo episode. We got 2 guys sitting down for one interview. We got Geno Bonnalie, caddy for Joel Dahmen, and Aaron Flener, caddy for J.T. Poston. 2 of the biggest personalities out there, and they did not disappoint.
2 dudes, 1 show. This was a fun one. We've been looking to get some caddies on for a while. No one better than these 2 guys. 2 of the best guys on social media, 2 of the best personalities. And we had a little bit of everything. We get into the caddy life. We get into some of the players, other caddies out there. This was a fun one, just some fellas kicking back, having a couple brews, getting amongst it a little bit, and talking shop. This was fun. We'll have to run this back at some point with a couple other guys, too, because there's a lot of good ones out there.
No doubt. And I do want to say, if you're watching this on video, you might notice I'm texting some stuff during the show. I was kind of putting out a small little fire because, we got multiple job sleeves and something happened. It's all good now. We're great, but just don't think that I wasn't focused on the job. I was just doing 2 things at once. We're talented. We can handle that.
That was not his Tinder profile. He wasn't swiping right or swiping left or whatever you do. That was official business that we had to be handling out there. But, yeah, dude, these guys were a blast. I think they enjoyed themselves, too. And like I said, this is a good format with 2 caddies that can kind of cut loose a little bit. Don't have the brands to worry about that maybe some of the players do, and we'll have to run this back. But it's going to be tough to beat these 2. They're 2 of the best.
All right, here they are. Geno Bonnalie, Aaron Flener on Golf Subpar.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Special moment here on Golf Subpar. Our first ever joint interview, and who more worthy than these 2 men we have with us, the brains behind the greatness of J.T. Poston and Joel Dahmen. Their esteemed caddies, Aaron Flener and Geno Bonnalie. Boys, let's talk some shit about your bosses. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's bash them. This is your time.
Here we go.
Unload.
I tell you what, I was so excited for this episode. I mean, I think our listeners and viewers out there might not know your faces, but at the end of this hour, they are going to love you guys. So thank y'all so much for joining us.
We do have great faces.
You do. You're beautiful.
Yeah.
Mine's more of a radio face, but Flener, though.
Don't sell yourself short.
Well, let's get right into it, because obviously you're caddies for 2 of the best players in the world. How did you even begin to stoop to the level of caddying?
Man, are you starting with me here, I suppose?
We'll go with Flener, because Flener's, I know, stories.
Geno sent an email.
Yeah.
I luckily knew somebody who was really good at golf, which is the easiest way to get into caddying probably. My good friend Kent Bull, 2015, asked me to come caddy for him on the Latin American PGA Tour. And
started at the top, now we're here.
So I quit my job and went with him, and he played really well down there and got us to the Web Tour, and then he let me go after half a year out there and got picked up by Steven Yeager, and he played well and got us to the big tour, and then he let me go after about half a season, and then JT picked me up. So
and you get yourself a PGA Tour win at the Wyndham Championship.
Yes,
things
sir.
happen pretty unbelievable for you. I mean, we'll get to you go
I'm
from
pretty
not
lucky.
much, not a whole lot of
rough go.
Not a whole lot of experience caddying. Yeah. You actually carried the bag for me on the Corn Ferry Tour in Chattanooga.
You taught me really everything I know.
I did. I taught you that when it says it's 27 and 4, that doesn't mean it's 4 on and 27 from the left. So that was a big thing.
I gave Colt a number, and he said, "Nope, do it again."
He said he wanted to do numbers with me, so I said, "Sure, go on." And I got to it. I said, "I got 124. What do you? Or I got like 110, 134. He's like, well, I got like 110, 114. I'm like, how is that possible? He's like, well, it's 4 on and 27 from the left. I'm like, no, bud, it's never been 27 from the
Pin
left.
sheets turned at a 9-degree angle.
Yeah. But we had a blast. But I mean, so you start caddying, you go down there. Your guy gets to the Korn Ferry Tour. You're a part of a 58 with Steven Yeager.
Yeah, 4th week on the bag.
Yeah, hello. This game looks pretty easy.
Yeah, I was very fortunate. I mean,
y'all won twice.
We won 3 times. We won once the first year I caddied, and then twice the next year.
And your poor friend Matt Irwin's out there just grinding away for years, never unscrewed a flag stick, and here you come and you started carrying a pair of pliers around.
Yeah, I don't even have enough room for them, honestly. I just had to buy a new house.
That's it. And Geno, you might have the award for most understanding wife in the world. You took a bit of a leap of faith going with your boy Joel.
That's
Talk about how that came to be.
So we were on vacation, a family vacation, and Joel was leading the money list on the McKenzie Tour, which got him a sponsor invite in the Canadian Open one year when he was still on that tour. And he went out after the first couple days and was like in 4th place. And I was like, Holly, he's guaranteed the Web.com or Korn Ferry now next year. And obviously he can play. I mean, I've known Joel could play forever, but I was like, I want to caddy for him. I want to quit my job. So I started talking about it with my wife much before I even brought it up to Joel. And because I knew if I talked to Joel about it, he would probably let me do it. So I had to convince the wife. So I sweet talked her for a while, and I wrote Joel like this long email that it's out there somewhere. But once he won the money list, and I don't know why he agreed to have me do it, but he did. And
but I mean, that's just such a big jump for you. Like, I mean, here you're going to caddy. You're not on the PGA Tour. You're going to the Korn Ferry Tour, where salaries aren't that big, purses aren't that big.
No, I knew if I was going to get to the PGA Tour with Joel, though, I had to put in some time elsewhere. I couldn't just be like, yeah, let me be a PGA Tour caddy. So I had to go put in my time for a couple of years out there with him.
Was it more that you wanted to caddy for Joel, or you just wanted to quit your job?
It was
or both.
I mean, my job was comfortable, right? I had my routine. I didn't mind my job. I made okay money. I could play golf on the weekends. Like, it was fine. But I wanted to caddy for Joel. And I knew he would be where he is.
What's more
fun?
Picked a good guy. Yeah. What's more fun, caddying for Joel or being the mascot at your college?
Caddying for Joel, definitely. Being the mascot.
Can we please?
This one requires more cheerleading.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that, though.
It was a volunteer position. So there was another guy in my fraternity that had done it for a couple years, and he was graduating. And he just asked me one day, I think we were having some beers. He's like, do you want to...
What school?
University of Idaho, sorry.
I
don't have
Vandal.
The Vandal.
Yeah, I don't have my yardage book cover on me. But yeah, so I was Joe Vandal for a year. And there's no training that goes into it. He's like, all right, the suit's kept in this locker. Go to this address, go down, put it on, and go nuts.
So every sport, there's no training.
I did basketball and football for a year. And football was bad because the team was bad, and then we've got like 6 people in the stands, and it's 1,000 degrees in the soup. So I got one quick. Well, I got a couple stories, but I'll make this one quick. The head that I wore, it harnessed in 3 spots. I had like 2 buckles here and then one on the back, and the head was so big I couldn't reach the top of it. So it's not exactly sturdy on my body, and this male cheerleader comes out to me just before halftime of a basketball game, and he goes, hey, you're going to dunk at halftime. And I'm like, I can't dunk without this suit on. Like, yeah, right. And he goes, no, I'm going to get on all fours. You're going to jump off my back. I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, okay. I mean, I'll try. So the way the suit was set up, I looked out of Joe's mouth. So they hand me this basketball. I walked to half court. In basketball, there was a few more people in attendance because it was fun to go to basketball games. So I'm peering through the mouth hole of Joe here. I see the male cheerleader on all fours, and I take off and run, and the head's like flopping around, and I'm losing sight of where I'm going, and so I'm trying to hold it and hold the basketball in my hand, and I kind of step on his back, and I didn't even touch the rim with the basketball. And so I made just an ass of myself. And I'm like, I'm glad it's over. And then the announcer gets on the PA. He's like, let's see him try it again.
Oh, great.
No, I got rim checked the second time though. Felt pretty good about it.
Yeah, that's close.
incredible.
That's close. This is Geno Bonnalie, by the way, for
Yeah,
you ladies out there.
I was
looking
just
for-
praying no one knew it was me in there. But people would always, drunk people would come up to me. There was a little 9-volt battery-operated fan that's inside the head to try help you keep you cool. And there was no cover on it, so people would sock me in the face, and then the fan would hit me in the mouth, and I could feel my lips bleeding, but you couldn't do anything about it because the head is like strapped on me. I'm just like,
Caddying's easy.
Yeah, I would have
This is
lasted
the
20
worst.
minutes in that suit and been like,
Life
I'm
of a
done.
mascot, not as glamorous as it may seem.
the way it all came to an end was this guy came up to me at halftime of the final home game and was like, "Hey man, I was Joe a few years back. I really want to do it one more time before I graduate." I'm like, done.
Take it
So we go behind the stands at halftime, and I strip out of this thing. I had basketball shorts and a T-shirt underneath. I'm like, here you go, see ya. And I just left. Well, it turns out he was a little intoxicated, and he ran behind the opposing team's bench and like starts slapping guys in the head.
And everybody thinks it's you.
Oh, yeah. So the guy called me. He's like, "You're fired." I'm like, "You didn't pay me anyways. Who cares?"
I quit at halftime.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
exactly.
Who cares?
So
Well,
that was
Flener,
that.
I mean, obviously, incredible mascot. You're an incredible singer. You got the voice of an angel.
So I've been told.
Yes, and at some point we know you're going to bust out some lyrics. You're not scared of a karaoke bar. At what age did you know you were a pretty damn good singer?
It really wasn't until I was in college and I was pledging this fraternity I was in, and they were like, had us singing some song, and one of the guys was like, "Wait, you can actually sing a little bit." And I was like, "Really?" And then I ran with it after that.
Now you
One
cannot.
compliment later.
Mess it up.
Yeah, you're right.
He
Bet
gave
your
me an
ass I
itch.
can.
Next, now, I'm singing songs about Augusta and whatever.
That turned out so good, by the way. That was incredible.
That you did that song about J.T. Poston.
Yeah.
What Luke Combs? What was the song? Oh my, we both just drew a blank on this.
Better Together.
This
Better
is your
together.
hit single, dude. You know the name of your hit single?
Better Together. I can't even listen to that song anymore because
No, all I hear is your lyrics.
Yeah.
Well, we know Colin Baton Rouge is obviously your go-to karaoke. Is there any others you specialize in?
Yeah, I mean, I can do Little Rumor by Lee Bryce. I can do some Luke
everything.
Combs. I'll do whatever.
Do you want to give us some of your specialty? A little Colin Baton Rouge. Do you need a beat, or we?
You need another couple beers?
I don't need a beat.
Well,
Acapella?
acapella. Let's go. Here's Aaron Flener.
I'll do the end because the end's the best.
Yeah.
Okay, Aaron
Bring us-
Flener.
bring us home.
I'm so excited right now.
Bring us home.
Always,
Right
I always do the start of it. I'll do the end. So,
Okay.
hello, Samantha, dear. I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I'll spend my money up right down to my last dime.
Oh no! Whoa!
Can we cut that?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I bet y'all cut that. I always run out of air right there.
I'm about to throw my panties on the stage.
I don't think I've ever heard you do Lee Bryce Rumor. I might need a little piece of
Yeah.
that.
How does it start? I always have the words when I
Rumor
sing it.
going round.
Yeah.
Now, why don't you go, Colt?
No, I don't know. I just
Yeah,
know
it
the
sounded
words.
like
I don't
you
know.
knew it.
If I could just know the first two words, I could get it going.
On it. Let me caddy you up.
Yeah.
Geno, get it. All right, question for you since you're an aspiring singer. Better chance of happening, Flener getting a record deal or Rory reconsidering Geno's offer to be a caddy? Which happens first?
I think I would get a record deal
Yeah, I would
before
agree with
Geno would caddy for Rory.
Have you heard from Rory since the
No, in
the
fact,
email? That
so-
was an incredible email, dude.
I appreciate that. And so what happened was, there you go, Flener.
Yeah, check that out.
We got paired with him at Torrey Pines like the next year after, and Rory introduced himself, and we're walking down the first hole there at Torrey, and Joel goes, "Hey, Rory, I got to ask you, did you ever see Geno's email?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he's like, "You got to read this letter." He's like, "Okay." And I was like, "I'll print it for you, and I'll give it to you at the next event we both play," which happened to be Bay Hill. So I took the time, I went through, and I kind of edited and cleaned it up, and because I didn't realize the first one was going to blow up, so there was probably some grammatical stuff that needed fixed. So fixed that. I put it in his locker, said, "Thanks, Rory," and left it at that. And then the next time we saw him again, I'm like, "Rory, did you get my letter?" He's like, "Your letter?" I'm like, "I taped it to your locker." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, I got it." And I go,
And
"Did you read it?" And he goes, "No." Damn it!
But for everyone at home, like him and JP had split.
Yep.
So he was kind of looking for a new caddy, and you decided to reach out.
Oh, yeah.
First off, how'd you get his email?
Well, I was strictly Twitter.
Okay.
I just fit it to a screenshot,
Yeah.
and I just said at Rory McIlroy.
Do you remember a few of the highlights of it?
Yeah, some of your strengths that you had.
Oh man, my bunker raking is a very good strength. I'm very punctual, and I really focused on that. You know, like to the airport, where I was actually typing it in the airport, and I was way too early. The airport wasn't even open yet, and I'm sitting there like waiting for it to open. So I kind of focused on I'm always over prepared and always on time. And
Didn't you say something about your archery background?
Oh yeah, so
that's
inside.
right.
So Joel, it's really funny because from like 65 yards and in, I'm pretty good at just being like, it's 57 yards without having to step anything off. And so most of the time when we get kind of that range, he's like, how far we got?
And he just goes with it?
Yeah.
That's the least surprising thing ever with Joel. He's got some of these weird nuances because he's come on our show. I've known him for a long time playing the jickies in Canada and all that type of stuff. And he'll have these like, I got the 8-iron yips, and he won't hit an 8-iron even if it's the perfect distance. Right?
Punch out yips.
I got the punch out yips. I can't punch out. For the life of me, I can't punch out. Is it hard to keep up with all his like shit that's going on? Like, what are we doing this week, dude? Is this no driver week? Or you know?
This week, no, it's actually been pretty good for the last year or two. For a while there, the first couple years on tour, it was every week was something brand new, some sort of yips or thing he had to do. I'm like, man, this guy's lunatic. I mean, he's really good, but he's
Also in Memphis, you remember when they flipped the fake coin to decide what club he was going to hit on that par 3 on 11?
Well, tell us the story. Yeah, let's hear it.
Let's see, what is that, 11 in Memphis? Yeah. So we're kind of going back and forth, and this is a WGC event, and I think I was on 9 and he was on 8. It was really, try to hit one hard or take 6 off of one or whatever, and he goes, all right, let's do this, and he goes, there's nothing there, and he just grabs the other club from me and hits it to like this. I'm like, I don't even know what just happened, but it was amazing.
I'm gonna go with hard. I got the knockdown yips right now.
That's unbelievable.
He's a special human, that's for sure.
Flener, give me in your time caddying maybe the best call you've made, and possibly the worst. I'm gonna do this with both of you, but Flener, go first.
The best? I'll go with the worst first. We were I was working for J.T. We were in Dallas playing at Trinity Forest, and we were coming down like the last 4 holes or something. We're like right around the cut line. We probably need a birdie. So we're on 15, hit a good drive in the fairway. I get this number, give it to him, whatever. He stripes this shot at this back right flag. I'm like, oh, that looks amazing. That's good. We're going to make birdie. It comes up 10 yards short of the green. He's like, man, he looked at me. He's like, I hit that good, And I was like, oops. I was like,
that's the
yeah.
worst.
I was like, I did that off the last green because it was a par 5, and I didn't do a number because he hit it down by the green. I didn't exit
turn
off.
the page.
And so, yeah. Thank goodness he got it up and down. He had like 8 feet for par, and I've like never been so nervous over one of his putts. We missed a cut.
It cost him some money, but whatever.
Yeah.
Is there one where like he was leaning one way and you talked him out of something?
Yeah, I mean, that happens sometimes. And to his credit, whenever that happens, he'll be like, hey, that was a good call right there.
I thought you were going to say all 72 holes at Wyndham.
Man, that was just trying to stay out of the way that week. He was on fire. No bogeys. Trying to think if there was anything.
He called me afterwards. He goes, you seen any bogeys around where you are? I haven't been able to find any this week.
Anybody find any bogeys?
72 holes bogey free. That's
looking.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he hit it so good on that Sunday, I didn't have to do anything.
What was easier, caddying for him that week or Jaeger's 58?
They were both super easy because, I was only 4 weeks in with Jaeger, and I was stepping off numbers, and that was about it.
58, that good?
And, like, after, like, 12 holes, I'm like, he's, like, 11 under or something like that. And, like, so we get to this hole where you shouldn't go at the pin. You should hit it, like, 15 feet left. So I'm, like, telling him, hey, yeah, we just keep it just left of that. He hits it. I look up. It's flying right at it. Goes to, like, this. I was like, I'm just going to shut up. Like, I'm just going
to agree with everything.
Get out of the way here. So, yeah. I mean, that was an easy day. That was an easy week. I mean, he shot 30 under that week.
That'll do it.
That's fine.
58, 65, 64, 63.
Yeah, that'll get you some chicken.
What about you,
You
Geno?
got any
You got anything
disasters?
stand out?
Well, so yeah, a couple. You want bad or good first?
Let's go bad.
Well, I want to hear what you think's bad because I did talk to your boss about this. So.
Oh, really?
I'm interested to see.
Oh
if
man,
y'all
I'm
are
really
maybe-
curious. I don't know if it was in my head. I still support what I allowed him to do on this, but it was during the web finals. Trying to get our PGA Tour card back. Is this the same one he said?
No.
Okay, so we needed a 6th place finish in Cleveland. I forget the name of the golf course. Canterbury, maybe? Yeah. And we're leading through 54 holes, and 6th place gets us our card back. And just don't do anything dumb on Sunday, and we're probably going back to the PGA Tour. So number 8 is this hole. It's straight away, OB left, trees right. It's fairly simple. You can hit hybrid 7-iron, whatever. But he struggled with the tee ball all week, losing it in the right trees. And we get up there to the tee, and he's like, don't let me hit all week or leading up to it, he's like, don't let me hit driver on Sunday on this hole. I'm like, okay. I'm like, no, we get there, and you're not hitting driver. He's like, I'm hitting driver. I'm like, no, you're not. He's like, I'm hitting. You told me not to let you. He's like, but it's what I'm comfortable with. I'm going to do it. Hits it in the right trees. We get up there, and he actually had a pretty decent punch through window to chase one up toward the front of the green. But the rough is heavy, and the branches, you got to keep it under 8 to 10 feet.
Punch out yips, too.
Yeah,
Man, right?
punch out yips.
So we're going back, and I'm like, we had talked about if you get in trouble, get it back in the fairway, and I thought he could hit the shot. So I said, I really think you can keep one under these branches and get it up around the front of the green. He goes, I do too. So, and we'd done a good job of chipping out all week, but that one we took on, and it was one of those ones you lean on a little bit and it totally de-loft, and the ball doesn't come out of the rough at all, and it just rolls 8 yards. And I'm like, oh no.
Here we go. This is a problem.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Now it's in a worse spot and a worse lie, and we have to chip it out. And he's chirping at me. He's like, you're supposed to make me hit hybrid. You're supposed to make me chip it out. And I'm like, oh God, I mean, you're right. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
So he's on me, and then hits the next one over the green and doesn't get up and down. Makes double, and he's on me after every shot. And this is the first and only time we've ever had a
Really? One time?
One time.
Wow.
So
Is that the case with you and your caddies?
That is incredible.
So,
one time a day.
Well, I hope I ended it properly. I don't know. We haven't fought since. So he makes double, and he's still like, I can't believe you didn't make me chip out there. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to wear it to a point, but you need to play some golf. I'm sorry. Let's go. And then after he gets the ball out of the hole and goes to throw it to me, throws it over my head into a bunker. I'm like, that's fun. Let me go rake this bunker. So I get down there, and I get the ball out, and I get it cleaned again, and I give it to him, and he goes, I got a monkey working for me today. And I'm like, okay, I'm losing it.
Yeah,
and I turned around, and I grabbed him by his shirt, and I put a finger in his face, and I was like, if I didn't think you can hit a ball in the air, I wouldn't have let you hit the shot. And we got into it on the tee box, and immediately after I felt okay. No, I've never really told this story before. And
Am I getting in trouble?
yeah, sorry, Joel. So
What did he do when you grabbed him?
Yeah.
his
How'd that
eyes
go?
were just like,
Oh, my God.
oh my gosh.
Calmed him down.
So, and then as soon as I got it out, I was okay. And then I was like, all right, you got wind in off the left. You got 290 into that bunker. This is a target. And he hits one miles left and kind of chops it around and ends up making a par in the 9th hole. It's a par 5. And we're walking off the tee box, and he goes, dude, I'm so sorry about 8 back there. And I was like, don't worry about it. We're fine. I felt better. I really did. And then we get back in, and he climbed all the way back into the lead again and did the same thing on 18. We make a double. But we get done, and we look up, and we finish 6th, which was good enough to get the tour cards.
Doubled 18 to finish
Doubled
6th?
18 to finish 6th.
Whoa, Nelly.
And
Tap in 6?
it was.
Did you have
It was an
strips?
easy
Yeah.
double.
Yeah.
Love
And
an easy double.
Yeah.
it was kind of emotional from both of us because, getting back to the tour is a huge deal. Yeah. And there was a lot of pressure on him, of course. And I understand what he's going through. And I was trying to help. I thought we could make a par maybe by punching one up to the front. So that was the biggest interaction and fault, I think. Joel obviously has a different answer.
He told me there was an example. There was one on the Corn Ferry Tour where y'all might have showed up to the first tee with only 10 clubs in the bag.
Oh, yeah. That'll happen. That's a fantastic story.
Just 4 short.
Yeah. We get to like number 2 or 3, and I was like, 125, 115, 125 is perfect gap wedge. And he goes, "Where's gap wedge?" I was like, I don't know. Well, we didn't warm up that morning.
Oh, you didn't know warm up?
No, there was no warm up. It was we had a late tee time that day, and he goes, "You want to grab lunch on the way to the course?" I'm like, "Sure." And he's like, "Do you want a gin and tonic at lunch?" I'm like, "Sure." So I'm like,
That's a good boss.
we gotta get going here. He's like, we shot like 78 in the first round, so it was kind of one of those, who cares? We get to the course, pulled the clubs out of the trunk, and what happened was a few of them stuck on something, pulling them out, and we walked straight to the tee. And I didn't notice or count them or anything like that. And then, so he goes, "Okay, I guess I'll chip the pitching wedge." And he goes, "Where's the pitching wedge?" I was like, I don't know the answer to that one either.
Boss, I think it's a little 8.
Yeah.
Feels like a little 8.
So we had that number 2 holes in a row. It didn't matter.
That's beautiful.
This bag was light.
Yeah.
Which one did he give you?
No, that one.
Oh,
yeah.
He gave me one at Riv.
Was it a good one? Can we focus on some good things?
There was a bad. I only asked for bad, I think, but it was a Riv. Like you had like a 60. I think it was number 8 maybe.
Oh yeah.
Like,
that was this
you
year.
Subtracted instead of
I
added,
did.
and
That's the worst.
Downhill.
I mean, we needed to go like 3 under in our last 10, and I give him this number, and he finally hits one like on line or target. That I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a kick in, and it lands just on the front fringe and spins down in the hazard. And he's like, "How far do we have there?" I'm like, "Not what I told you."
A little further than you hit it there, Chief.
It happens, okay?
It does, dude. And you guys have to be like part sports psychologists out there too, knowing your guys getting hot, how to handle them. So if each of your guys, if you notice them starting to get a little pissed off and they're getting hot under the collar and things like that, how do you handle your guys? Are they rah-rah guys like, "Hey, let's go get him, buddy, come on, champ"?
No.
Or are you like, I need to chill out, I'm gonna walk about 10 yards in front or behind him and let him pull off?
JT's not really a rah-rah guy, but I mean, he'll get mad and he'll just like get it out. It's not really mad at me. He's just mad if he's not playing good. And you just got to let him talk it out. And I usually don't say much because some of the, how did this happen? How did this happen? And I got an answer. But I'm just not going to say it. It's not the time to answer that question.
Would you like my honest opinion about this happening?
So I just walk behind him and let him get it out, and he's usually fine. I've got about 2 times a year, I think you can bring out the rah-rah with some of these guys. Like, I did one in Palm Springs. He was kind of being pouty, wasn't playing good, and I was like, I don't care if you shoot 1 million, but, like, let's have fun. Like, let's not be, like, down in the dumps all day. And he's like, you're right. And so, but if you overuse those, then they lose their effectiveness.
You know when to go to the well with that.
So,
what about Joel?
Joel sometimes
he's mumbling and doing
he's very negative, and this sounds weird, but he almost responds better if I criticize him or if I make fun of him. Like, dude, that was terrible.
Like a little challenge.
Yeah. Like, or what he does really well. It's funny. I don't understand the golfer's mentality, but he could have a putt for $50,000, and I can make him a side bet for like $3 on it, and all he's thinking about is that $3. Like, he wants to beat me. So we do a lot of there's a center stripe on this hole. If you were within X amount of Mo stripes from the center, I'll bet you $20 you can't get it within there. And like, we'll do little games like that amongst.
So the $3 motivates more than the 50 racks.
It's weird, but he responds to it really well.
How's your game? I mean, what's your golfing background?
I went through the PGM program at the University of Idaho to be a club pro. I'm okay.
He qualified for the U.S. Mid-Am 2 years
so
ago.
you got game.
I mean,
I'm right.
Yeah,
Have you ever
Respect.
Have you ever beat Joel?
I took Joel's course record from him at my home course.
Oh, how did that
That's
go?
real golf.
Felt amazing.
Was he the first person you called?
So it was actually.
Yeah.
I called Joel before I called my wife because Joel had it at 63 and I beat it by 2.
Oh,
by
61.
2 with room to
Okay,
spare.
so you have a lot of
Yeah,
game.
don't.
Well,
don't
just
shoot
yourself. You
61.
It was a good day.
Well,
So-
yeah, I would hope so. Shit.
That was the last time I played.
I'm fairly confident in saying, Flener, you've probably never beat your pro.
When's
No,
your last
absolutely
62?
not. The lowest I've ever shot in my life was 63, and that's when I was playing like a lot. But I don't play a lot at all. I don't even play a little.
That's incredible.
Chasing a record deal. You don't got much time
You know, so a lot of people I don't think know like how the caddy life is out on the tour. I mean, you see the players, in their net jets, putting it on Instagram, staying at the Ritz-Carlton. Y'all maybe go a little different route. Don't quite make the money as the PGA
I know
Tour
where
players.
this is going.
But Geno,
Yeah.
you're known as, you're not scared to slum it maybe a few
No,
weeks.
I'm not. If it has a
Frugal.
shower and a bed, I'm okay.
So give us your maybe worst experience. I know you like to do a lot of VRBOs or Verbo, whatever you want to call it.
Before he starts,
to. Yeah, chime in here.
I love staying with Geno because we're very good friends. We have a great time together. But if he ever asks me, hey, I've got this spot for this week, do you want to stay? I will never say yes right away. I'll be like, you're going to have to send it to me. I'm going to have to see it first because if it saves him $7 for the week to stay in a dump,
Yeah.
he'll do it. And
That's an all-star, man.
when we're different. I mean, I'm single and he has a family, so he's, a
$7.
little better with his money.
$7. That's a Chipotle.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
mean,
meal, dude.
So,
Yeah.
preface what he's about to say about where he stays.
I mean, we stayed in some pretty janky spots on the web tour, and Puerto Rico was a exceptionally poor place one time. But I mean, you're alluding to the PGA Championship at Bethpage, and yeah, that was something else. So what had happened? You want me to tell the quick story?
Yeah, no, that's what
So,
we're here for.
we got all the time in the world.
I had been burned the year before. Let's see, no, where was it? Sorry, where was that?
there was somewhere you checked into one time that didn't have beds.
Yeah. Oh, so that was at Bethpage. So I went to Bethpage a couple years ago, and my Airbnb canceled on me when I got there, and I was so angry that I had to rebook a new place because I had a bunch of friends and family coming. So the only other place I could find was like $3,000 because out there on Long Island, there's nothing.
That's a tough week, yeah.
So I rent this house that's for sale and there's nothing in it. So I pay $3,000 and then I got to go to Walmart and buy a bunch of inflatable beds for everybody. And
Real quick, but the description, I imagine, was on the internet, and it just didn't mention
well,
that
it,
you
just,
had
it was just like, well, the dude, it did say that, and then he messaged me and was like, I'll bring in a couple beds. So he brought in 2 and just like threw them on the floor. But I'm like, I need 4 more. There was no table, no plates or silverware or anything like that.
Don't
so
be a diva, dude.
we went and
So
got.
there wasn't a flat screen either, I imagine.
There was not. There was no TV whatsoever. I did an episode of the Caddie Cribs that week.
Caddie Cribs
That
is
was
genius.
gold.
So
dude.
Flener actually came up with that, and it was that.
I used to do some of those when I was on the Latin tour. Some of the places we would stay in were pretty special.
That's gold. Y'all need to keep that.
So
that up.
it was that place that really burned me. So fast forward to it was the U.S. Open at Wingfoot this year. I get there and I land at Newark, and I get a message from my Airbnb host saying, "Sorry, we got to cancel your reservation."
The day
Your plane."
of.
Yep, and I'm like, I already have this address. You are not canceling on me. I am gonna be there in an hour and a half. And there's nothing you can do to stop me, because I know where I'm going. And so I get the rental car and I start driving, and she calls me and she's like, "Geno, I'm so sorry." I'm like, no. I'm staying there this week. Like, it was a good price and it was a perfect location. And she goes, "Tell you what," she goes, "give me 24 hours. You can stay there, but just not tonight." I'm like, she goes, "I'll even pay for your hotel room." I'm like, well, okay, something clearly is going on. I appreciate
Bridge Club or something.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that she was trying to make it right. So I'm like, okay, look, I'll get my own hotel room. We'll take it off the Airbnb fee for the week, and I'll see you tomorrow. I said, okay, great, thank you. So I had pulled over into a Shell gas station. I just Googled hotels near me, and the Mamaroneck motor in was like 0.7 miles. So I called him and I said, yeah, do you have any vacancy tonight? He's like, yeah, we're good. I go,
don't have any occupancy.
how much? He goes, $100. And I was like, does that include taxes and parking? He's like, yep, $100. Like,
Cash under the table.
So I showed up,
Yeah.
and it was one of those, you just park it. It's a single story, and there's just like 30 doors. And he's like, you're in door 1. Maybe that's the VIP suite. Turned out it was not.
very good.
No,
We actually had a murder just take place, so a room opened up.
That
Like,
was
you know?
that was the worst place I had
Put you
seen.
down here where you can't see the police sirens
Right,
going.
just walk your way under
So-
the yellow tape.
Yeah, I recorded that video that I put on Twitter, and it was funny because I think I tweeted it out, in the evening on maybe Monday evening, and I show up to the golf course on Tuesday morning, and it was a hit, apparently.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, those things are gold.
And had I known it was going to explode, I probably would have focused on a few more things because I didn't really get into the shower, and the shower was incredible.
That was the water.
I don't remember the water. It doesn't stand out in my mind. I had hot water, but the shower was tiled in black tile that were all like shattered, and there was pieces of the tile in the shower, and it was.
I love the part of the story where you're like, it was all fun and games until like I put my phone down.
Yeah.
Because people were messaging you on
Yeah,
Twitter.
so
and,
it got
you're
kind of got
interacting,
interactive.
And then it's like,
and then I shut it off. I was like, okay, it's like almost midnight. I got to go to sleep and get up in the morning. I put the phone down, and then I start like looking around. I'm like, I don't want to be here. Like my TV,
this isn't funny anymore.
my TV wouldn't turn off all the way. I had this weird poltergeisty glow to it, and every time somebody would walk by my window, their shadow would like cast against my wall, and I was like, Mom.
And Joel told me that while we're on this subject, Joel told me to ask you about the one at Riviera this past year.
Let's see, at Riv.
oh yeah, we stayed together. Me, you, and Flynn.
Oh, yeah, that was just. I mean, the place was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was just. It was
I got
cheap
like
and
a
very inconvenient.
$63 parking ticket that week for parking.
Which was more than the night.
More than
Yeah,
a room.
we had to. The only way to access the building was a garage door opener, and the dude gave us one garage door opener for the 3 of us. So I'm like, okay, this isn't going to work. How else can we get in the building? He's like, use the garage door opener. I'm like, there's 3 of us that are coming and going at separate times. He's like, well, you need to figure out who's going to be there first and give it to them. And
I didn't pay that ticket, by the way.
Oh, you're on the roll. You're on the
man.
lam right now?
I didn't say that. By the way.
Could be some warrants for me out in California.
actually, you know what? I bet Joel was talking about the year prior because I moved out of a place due to rats. The year before at Riv. I do remember that.
Maybe it was that one.
So yeah, I'm sure that's the one he was probably talking
You
about.
said Riviera.
Yeah, that's the one he was talking about. I found a place. It was like glamping. I didn't know what glamping was. Are you familiar with glamping?
Glamorous camping?
Yeah, apparently
Yeah.
these got these little tiny trailers that they put in this guy's
Glamorous
backyard.
camping.
Isn't that what it is?
So apparently, so I walk into this commune, and there's people like just watching TV, hanging out in this house. And I walk in, I've got my suitcase and stuff, and nobody acknowledges that I'm there. I'm like, hey,
Hey, roomies.
you guys know where I'm staying? And they're like, nope. So I pull up my phone. I'm like, okay. So I go out in the backyard. It says exit through the kitchen. Okay, exit through the kitchen. And then there's 3 campers and a tent back there. And I'm like, and it said I'm on the right. I'm like, oh, in the tent? So I unzip the tent, and there's this dude laying there. I'm like, nope, not that one.
See,
Sorry,
this is
bud.
why you have to double check when Geno's like, I got a spot, man. I got a spot.
I finally find the camper, and the space to get into the front door was so narrow I couldn't get my suitcase into it. I had to, I'm fairly thin, and I had to suck it in to like wedge myself over and get the door open. And I get in, and my lights were to turn on in the camper were only Christmas lights. And so I turned on my Christmas lights, and it was kind of cold that night. I remember that. I had a sleeping bag, and I texted my wife. I'm like, this place is something. And the width of the camper was narrower than I am tall, so I had to, curl up in the fetal position a little bit. But I slept okay. I got up in the morning. I went back into the universal common shower area, and there were so many empty shampoo and soap bottles piled in the bathtub. I was like, this isn't real. So I started like cleaning up a little bit. I'm like, this is disgusting. I probably threw 15 of them away. That's no exaggeration.
We can do a whole episode
So-
where Geno is staying.
Geno's living.
I get out, and it's early enough in the morning that there wasn't other people around. So I get up, get changed, get in the car, drive. We play our practice round, do our thing. And Joel had just bought a TrackMan that week and asked me to go get him an iPad to go with his TrackMan. So I went to the Apple store that afternoon, and I go back, and I'm sitting in this living room, and I'm setting up the iPad, and I see something move out of the corner of my eye, and I look up, and Master Splinter is walking across the kitchen, and I was like, oh, hell no. So I kind of moved, and he turned and ran back under the oven, and I went and got my shit and got out of there. It was bad.
You're setting up your $25,000 TrackMan for your boy, and you're ducking rats in your hotel room. Like, anything else I can do for you?
What about the
What's
one,
the other one?
where you stayed somewhere and you came out the next morning and the whole family was sleeping on the floor in the living room?
Oh,
Dude, you did some.
This is like
you
a
did some
one-bedroom
shit.
place, and they're renting out the bedroom, and they
that's
all
where I
slept
went.
on the floor.
That's where I went after the rats.
Oh, that was the upgrade.
So that was an upgrade.
Yeah.
So now that y'all have won on the PGA Tour, are we staying in a little nicer places?
Yes, but I don't like it. Like, I enjoy the places, but I'm like, I don't want to spend $500 this week. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I got us a place for Colonial that's like $600 each. It's nice. We both have our own bathroom, own bedroom. He's like $600.
I like the $220 for the week kind of.
7 nights for $220.
Yeah.
Okay, for those of you that aren't very good at math, that's just over $30 a night. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that checks out.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say you
yeah.
don't pay for Wi-Fi on the airplane in
Never
between stops.
once. In fact, I was coming here. It's funny you say that because the monthly Wi-Fi subscription is $49.95. That's absurd. Like for a month? How often do people fly? Like to make it worth $49.95?
A lot less than you.
My internet, right? My internet at home is that expensive, and never mind.
What
I don't
percent
wanna-
chance would you say you've stayed in a place where an actual murder has taken place?
Probably fairly high.
Yeah. 75%? Yeah.
I mean, this is a man.
It's up there.
This is a man that started a blanket ladder business during COVID.
Blanket ladder.
I was like, called him one day. I'm
Entrepreneur.
like, Geno, I missed him. I was like, what have you been up to? He's like, well, I started making these blanket ladders. And if you don't know what that is, it's a ladder that you hang blankets on.
Pottery Barn sells them for
Is
like
there high demand?
How are you still caddying?
No, right? One of my buddies at home, his wife wanted one, and she knew I wasn't doing anything. I was semi-handy.
If you guys
She was
want
like,
one, it's your guy.
Have you taken this to Shark Tank
So-
yet? Cuban
Yeah.
might want a piece of this.
She was like, do you think you can build this for me? I'm like, oh yeah, that's easy. So I built one, and then her friend wanted one, and then her friend wanted one. So before you know it, I'm building like 10 blanket ladders, and each one of them wants it stained a different color and a different size. Excuse me.
Did Joel get nervous with all this going on?
He might
Might
blow
have
up
a
and
caddy.
leave me.
If your blankets aren't good hanging on the back of your couch, then
Get
get
you
a
a
ladder.
ladder.
Yeah, that's
Get
right.
you a Geno ladder. Flener, are you like that? You got any? You got to have some crazy places staying down in Latin America tour.
Honduras was special.
Yeah, that's
We had to like drive around like this little pond that I don't even know if it was a real pond or if it was just where a lot of water happened to gather. And
Drainage is not good.
the next week I was like, my chest was like broken out. I'm pretty sure there was bed bugs. It was hot. And but the great thing about Honduras was one night they had these boxing matches and they had like 10-year-olds fighting each other.
yeah, real fight.
And we're betting on this stuff. I mean, girls are fighting each
Oh, I never
other.
heard this
Got like
story.
10-year-olds.
A couple of little people fought each other. I mean, and we're throwing around money like crazy.
I'll take the little kid with the teddy bear for 20.
It was awesome.
Oh my God, that's incredible. Let's talk a little bit about your nickname, because a lot of people call you the Big Cat.
Yeah.
Which there also might be another guy that plays golf, kind of known as the Big Cat,
Yeah.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Y'all got paired together.
We did.
Did you explain to him that you're the real Big Cat?
I didn't bring it up.
You
No.
let that one go.
I didn't talk to him that much. JT talked to him quite a bit, but it was awesome. He was great. But yeah, that nickname came from Keith Mitchell and Harry Higgs the year down on Latin America. started calling me the big cat, and then it just caught on. And you guys don't know how it is with nicknames. Like if you fight it, they're gonna make it even worse. And so I just embraced it.
I mean, you're a Kentucky Wildcat fan.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm big.
big. And you're big.
I'm big cat. You like milk?
Makes sense.
It fits, you know.
Gino, you got a nickname?
Keith Mitchell and Brandon Harkins started calling me Laser. I think it's kind of a dual purpose. So I watched American Gladiators all the time when I was a kid, and I wanted my name to be Laser. I thought Laser was like the coolest word and name ever, right? So we went out to a taco joint one night, and they asked me for the name for the order, and I was like, Laser. Yeah, and so we're sitting there waiting for tacos, and she's like, Laser! And Harkins and Keith Mitchell were like, wait, what? So I kind of told them, I was like, I always wanted my name to be Laser, so.
We did it at Starbucks one time, too. I think I have the video.
I like it. But, Gino, I got to ask you this one. I don't really know the whole story, but I'm just going to go with it this way, okay? Has there ever been a time where all the bathrooms were full at your house and someone had to go outside?
This one.
That's a good segue from what's your nickname to tell us this story.
I feel like these stories are all too long, though. I need to like shorten them
It
up.
doesn't matter. This is one of the greatest stories I've ever heard.
I recently told it to another buddy. So it was Halloween morning, and my wife was home. My son was off of school. He's 7. And we needed to go get some candy for kids coming that afternoon. And so the wife was like, let's go to Starbucks and grab a coffee and go to the store and run some errands. So perfect. We go to Starbucks, go to this grocery store, buy one of those 5-pound bags of candy, and we're running a couple errands. And I look at my wife. I'm like, we need to go home now.
Coffee's working.
And she goes, agreed.
Bridesmaid situation.
Right?
Yeah.
So I literally was remodeling one of our bathrooms, and the day before I had taken the toilet out. We had a 3-bathroom house, and I took one out because I was tiling the floor, so now we were a 2-bathroom house. So I run downstairs, my wife goes upstairs, and after just a couple minutes, my son comes in and goes, Mom, I gotta go to the bathroom. And she goes, go outside. So he's like, all right. So we back the story up a little further. We have a new golden retriever puppy at the time, and he hadn't gotten his parvo shots yet. And my son knew that he couldn't eat other dogs' feces. He could get parvo and die. So fast forward to present day. My son goes into the backyard. My wife thought he had to pee. He didn't have to pee. He had to go deuce in the backyard. So apparently he's sitting there, pants around his ankles, just squatting in the backyard. And he does his thing. And then the puppy jumps on him, knocks him over into his feces. And he starts crying. And then the puppy starts eating the poop. And my little man thinks he's going to get parvo and die. So he's panicking. So he's wrestling with the puppy, digging the poop out of his mouth.
Your son?
Yes.
I thought it was you.
No, my son. So all I hear, I'm still sitting there, and I hear this blood-curdling scream, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, so,
man, Holly, you're really killing it out there.
What is happening? So he comes in, and she's like, Gino, you need to hurry up. And I'm like, what is happening? Leave me alone. You know, I'm scrolling through Twitter right now.
Checking my emails.
So finish up. I go out there, and he's covered in poop. He's got poop all over his arms and his hands, and he's bawling. I'm like, what happened? He goes, Mom told me to go to the bathroom outside, and then Looper ate my poop, and he's going to get parvo and die. And so I'm like laughing because it's pretty funny, but I'm still kind of grossed out. You know, I don't deal with that stuff very well. And my wife starts filming, and my son gets even more pissed. And she's like, so you dug the poop out of his mouth? He goes, no, I choked him. She goes, I choked it. Or, excuse me. He said, I choked it out of him. So he grabbed the puppy's neck until the puppy couldn't breathe. And then he went, oh. And then he started digging the poop out of his mouth.
That's a tough kid, dude.
Right? He's going to save his life. So, yeah. That's
a hell of a...
And we put him in the shower. And
yeah, how do you... what's the clean? I was thinking a hose maybe, but no.
Yeah, well, just threw him right in the shower. And then later I go to mow the backyard. Well, I had to go pick up my human dog poop and human child poop out of the backyard before I mowed. And there's a dustpan sitting there that's kind of got some poop on it. So I go inside. I'm like, Hudson, why is there a dustpan with poop on it in the backyard? And he was like, I was trying to poop into the dustpan.
Of course,
Responsible, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
Clean up.
I was gonna clean it up.
Has it been spoken of with him ever since then? or?
We played the video of him saying, I choked it out of him the other day, and he heard that we were showing it to somebody, and he got mad.
Okay, I won't bring it up next time I see him.
That's a tough one to talk. That might be a perfect time to jump into our Jock Talk. So typically we end these shows with a little segment called E9. We're going to switch it up for you guys. We're going to call this Jock Talk right here, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to ask you some hypotheticals, okay? And you just tell us which of your players or any tour players or caddy is the most appropriate answer for the hypothetical situation. You with me?
Yeah.
You'll get it. All right.
You're more than welcome to use your players, but if you want to go to other players, you want to go to other caddies.
Right. If it's
depending on the
perfect for you
question.
guys, say your guy. If it's for someone else, then you're comfortable. You say
Very
that.
political here.
Now, here we go.
I think you just.
I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, we just talked about a kid choking out a dog, get shit out of his mouth. I mean, I feel like the
I think it's gonna be fine, guys.
Yeah.
Where are we gonna? Have we crossed any lines? All right, I'll throw out the first one. You'll get it. All right, whose player or any player most likely to hit a shitty shot and blame the club on the caddy?
Bo Hostler.
Oh yeah, Big Bo. Quick response there, by the way.
I love Bo.
I can't wait to bring that up to him.
I'm freezing.
Nothing?
I'm trying to think who's bad to their caddy.
Bryson.
Sure, Bryson.
That could be the humidity too. It could be a lot of things to play a role in that. All right, we got Bo and Bryson for that one. All right, that's good. Colt.
Caddy to most likely oversleep in early morning tee time, whether it be from fun the night before or just oversleep.
I almost did this one time.
Really?
This is pretty good. Not from fun. San Antonio, I was staying with JT on site. And he got up for our morning tea time and left the room and didn't think to even see if I was awake. I guess he just thought I heard him, which I didn't. So I wake up 45 minutes before he's supposed to tee off. And I've got missed calls from him, whatever. I call him, I'm like, hey, he's like, where are you? I'm like, I'm in bed.
Yeah.
I was like,
Where you just left?
I thought you would wake me up when you left so I could get in the shower and stuff. And I was like, I'll be down there in a second. And luckily I was on site at least. Yeah. So I just ran down the hill, no shower, just went straight down there. And I think shot under par that day, so maybe I should do that more often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if I'm coming up with a good one. I'm trying to think of somebody who drinks way too much and is semi-irresponsible.
Shouldn't be
this
hard.
This is the place to air it out, right?
99% of
a few caddies that are.
Nobody listens to this, right?
Zero.
Say whatever
You're talking to air.
Yeah. Can I come back to it?
All right, you can defer. All right,
I'll answer it. I just don't have anybody
comes to your
yet.
mind,
Yeah.
All right, hold on to that. Okay. We'll give you another one right now.
Put
all
a
right,
pin in
player most likely to utter the phrase "I suck" during a round.
Joel.
That was an easy one. Perfect.
That's probably 5 times per round.
Yeah, those guys are always fun.
He shoots 63 and have 5 I sucks during the round.
Yeah, he's got a high bar.
Yeah, he does.
Very high bar.
All right. Player to most likely to not pick up the dinner bill when he takes when him and his caddy go to dinner.
Ooh. Somebody I know, I feel like split check with their caddy somewhere.
I don't
recently.
know. I feel like most players are really good about that.
I agree, but I just didn't know if you've heard any
Yeah,
stories.
no, I actually do. I'm trying to think of who it was.
I thought everyone would say Matt Kuchar immediately.
Oh,
that was going to be
that's fair.
The layup.
Yeah, we'll just go there.
Perfect, Matt Kuchar.
Okay.
Clean it
Player
up, Matt.
most likely to always complain that they got the bad wave.
I think every player
Every
does that
dude.
every week. Every guy that misses the cut, we got screwed by the wave. The weather killed us.
I get it.
Every player.
I get it. That whole career of it.
All right.
You got it. That's what happened to
Every
you.
time. Always lived out. You know the deal.
He kept asking for the late.
Yeah, late wave. Can I fall asleep a little bit?
Yeah.
All right, Flener, you're the singer. You're the lead singer of a band. Player most likely to be in your band. Maybe a backup singer.
Well, I've seen some videos of Van Ruin playing the guitar before.
Eric Van Ruin.
He can,
Wow.
He
Really?
can shred on the
shreds?
guitar. So I can't play any instruments, so I need people that can play instruments. So I'll go with Eric Van Ruin.
And you're the face, clearly, so put him in the back somewhere.
Yeah.
With a mask. Maybe get
With
that
the
Joe Vandal.
mask.
Get Joe Vandal out. He could be your guy. All right, next one. Player most likely to carry rain gear when there's a 0% chance of rain.
Not JT. I check that bag every day.
But Lonto's bag was pretty
Lonto
heavy.
Griffin. I filled in for Lonto 2 weeks ago in New Orleans, and he has got the heaviest bag I've ever picked up.
We went to dinner. He's like, Lonto's bag is the heaviest thing.
He walked out on Tuesday, and he was like, I just took a lot of stuff out of the bag. It should be fine. And I picked it up. I was like,
I took my dumbbells out for you. I normally like to catch a set at the turn.
That's
What's
where I
the
was gonna
policy
go.
on that? When you will carry, if there's like 10% chance, but beautiful.
well, I'll say
are you
this.
carrying it?
If you decide not to carry it and it rains, that
you're
is
dead.
bad.
Tommy Armour always said, Tommy Armour the third, he's like, hey, the umbrella's part of the bag.
Yeah,
It goes everywhere.
Always.
I'm
in.
like, it's Palm Springs. It's 85.
never-
Yeah, I think we're
Dubai,
going to be
dude.
okay.
It hasn't rained here in 10 years.
Yeah, I would say the umbrella is more of a requirement than the rain gear itself.
Whenever we need the umbrella, we sometimes can't even find it. I'm like, we don't have one.
What's the most unnecessary item in both your players carry in their bag that they rarely, if ever, use? Anything?
I'm telling you, I scour the bag. We might have like some old snacks in there or something that
Like a
have been in
cracker.
there for a while, but yeah.
It's as light as possible.
I will say at Players one day during the practice rounds, JT was like, check, see if we've got enough balls. If not, go in the locker room and get some. And I pulled 18 balls out of this bag. I was like,
Think we're good.
Yeah, I think we got enough. And I gave like 6 of them away.
What's
Yeah,
the 8
I would
iron?
say-
You've got the 8 iron yet?
Yeah, I would say we've got some random training aids that find their way into the bag and then stay there for a little too long that we don't really use. The mirror is a useful one, but we'll go a few months without using it. So I think there might be one in there now.
Just start dumping those things
Yeah.
pre-round. Oh, no. Get a new one.
Next one. Player or caddy most likely to have an adult beverage in their water bottle?
Interesting.
I mean, John Daly.
That was who popped in first. I mean, Joel would be a very good response for
Be
that,
very
but it's
good.
never happened. But yeah, I mean, I would say a lot of people would say Joel. That would be a popular answer. Hey,
You wouldn't even have it in his water bottle. I think
Yeah,
you
you
just
just
carry
carry
it
a
like
white
you
bottle.
carry the maid over.
I could see maybe Harry Higgs having a rough Thursday and having
That's a good answer.
Have a
A
little something on
Tito's
Friday.
water in there.
That's a very good answer.
Got to stay hydrated.
Yep, I like that. Harry Higgs is a popular answer. Yeah.
All right, here's one I'm interested in. Caddy most likely to remind everyone how he should be playing on tour instead of caddying.
Brett Waldman.
I was gonna say Derek Smith, Denny McCarthy's caddy.
Oh, really?
Derek Smith, yeah.
I
there you
knew
go.
there'd be some quick ones. On that
I mean,
one.
Derek's a really good player.
I should be out here.
Just if he
Dude.
leaned closer to the mic to make sure he picked
make
it up.
sure.
You want to spell it?
Hey, and
You wanna
Brett, listen
spell
to
it?
this. This is going to be great. Oh, that is
Give his
awesome.
cell phone number. Yeah, I knew there'd be some for that one.
All right. This one might be hard. I might get a no answer from both of you on this one, but current PGA Tour player, card-carrying PGA Tour player, most likely to end up caddying on the PGA Tour.
Ooh, that's all. Oh boy! I need to remind you at this point. This is when no one's listening.
Whoa.
This is the trust tree. It's just us, guys.
You can say no answer. I
It's just us.
just wanted to throw it out there to see if you had an opinion.
I mean, I probably do have an opinion.
You want to do rhyming word? What's it rhyme with?
What's it wrong with?
What if let's imagine I'm a player. Who would I want to caddy for me?
Not
No, that's not really how this game
Not
works.
that.
Yeah.
No, this is tough.
I'm going to have to pass.
We'll pass on that one. Perfect.
All right, I got one. Caddy most likely to talk shit to their player after a bad shot. It might be.
I mean, it could be. Derek Smith would be another good answer for that.
He sounds like a tough nugget.
Denny's caddy. I don't
I think
necessarily.
the better the player, the caddy is, the
Yeah.
more likely he is to criticize. I mean, when JT hits a bad shot, I'm like, yeah, it was a really hard shot.
No one can hit that.
I
Dude.
couldn't have done that.
No one can hit 9 iron on the green from.
Well, it's funny because before or during every single round, I play a full round. So that this has became kind of a thing. So Max comes up to me all the time. He's like, Geno, what'd you shoot today? And I'm always like, I might make one bogey per tournament or something. But I'm like, gosh, yeah, I had an okay day. I shot 67 out there today.
He's
And
going to finish his top 10 every
Left
day.
Yeah.
every
In
out
his
there.
mind.
What are you gonna do?
I'm a machine. So then Griner comes up during the Zurich and he's like, hey, what are you and I shooting the alternate shot today? And I'm like, hang on. And I went through every hole and every shot. And I'm like, We shot 4 under.
Good plan.
He's like,
Yeah, great
he's like,
plan.
man, that's a hell of a day.
All right, last one. Yeah. Caddy you would least like to share a room with for the week, and I'm pretty sure it might be you after what we've heard.
Yeah, I'm probably a popular answer for that one, unfortunately.
You're up there because of your snoring.
Well, I was going to go with, I stayed with Dewey before.
Kevin
Kisner's
Kisner's caddy.
Boy, he can saw him. And you cannot beat him to sleep. When he decides it's time to go to sleep, that man is asleep in 2.5 minutes. And he is snoring, and it's just like you're in no man's land. You're like, well, what am I going to do now? Like,
Lost.
it's over.
I don't know if I've ever had an experience where I'm like, I really disliked staying with that person.
Because no one will stay with you.
Yeah, it's probably true.
In the tent.
Flener's
Yeah.
the only one who put up
There's only room in the tent for
with
one.
with the family.
Yeah, the glamping.
When I worked the Latin Tour, Kent and I had to stay together every week because he had a sponsor that paid for everything. And so we would try to race to go to sleep at night because we both snore. Oh, my God. But a trick we learned was if one person's asleep and snoring, if you pick the phone up and slam it down, the other person will wake up, but they won't know why they woke up. And then you've got about 5 minutes there.
You got to hurry up and get
a little bit of a buffer.
All right. Yeah. Well, guys, this has been awesome. We appreciate it very
Hey,
much.
are we not going to do the movie character?
Oh,
You want to do it? You got one in mind? I love that.
I think I thought about this because I know you guys usually ask this, and I would go Chris Pratt during his Parks and Rec days when he was a little, he had a little extra on him.
A little more full figure.
Not the Chris Pratt now; it's like ripped, but yeah,
Funny Chris Pratt.
He had a beard. He was kind of chubby, funny.
He probably can't sing like you, though.
I don't know.
There's no chance.
You got anything, Geno?
You got someone?
Oh, Mr. Clean.
Perfect. Whoever that guy is, he works. All right. Fictional character. Well, like I said, this has been awesome. Flener, maybe send us out with a little something real quick.
Girl, I've been on you forever. How many nights have we hung out together? Same little crowd, little bar, little town, around this old dance floor.
Incredible.
That
is
fantastic.
Take it off. Guys, this has been great. Thank you.
Oh, man.
Awesome, dude.
Sleaze, that was so much fun. I mean, I don't know if I've laughed that hard during an episode since Mike Commodore.
There's so many good stories in the caddy world out there. It's kind of like the Jicky Jack stories. Like, they're living a totally different life. It's fun. It's a great job to have, especially if you got a player that's playing well. But, Joel plays great. He's doing really well. He's a winner on tour now. I think Joel could win the next 5 events on tour, and Geno is still going to be staying in some of these raggedy dumps that he stays in, doing these, caddy cribs and things like that. I mean,
Caddie Cribs is phenomenal.
So good.
And I mean, for the non-math people out there, let's just break this down. He says he doesn't like spending over $220 to $240 a week. Okay, most PGA Tour players spend more than that a night at their hotel. So just imagine he's there for 6 days during the week. He's looking to spend less than $40 a night. I have no idea where you find these places, but they have to be just terrifying, as he described.
There's a reason he had to travel with a frying pan and cook his own meals for a while. You're trying to go on $40. That didn't go too far. But like I said, I think even if Joel starts winning majors, I don't think you're ever going to see Geno staying at the Ritz or doing any of that. That's just what he's like. And Flener, Poston may need to look out. That boy's coming for a record deal here pretty soon. Those pipes are the real deal.
He can bring it, man. It is so fun. Like going out in Nashville with him, stopping at these karaoke bars and stuff. I mean, he gets up there and people are like, "Oh my God, who is that? Like, you're a caddy? You should be singing somewhere." It really is. It's really fun to see what bring it.
Yeah, the man has got some pipes. And I thought Jock Talk at the end of that one in replacement of E9, that was some of the best stuff ever. Talking about, all right, which player is most likely to do this, which caddy's most likely to do that. I love that. We got some quick unanimous answers, and then we had some thinkers too. But that segment's great. Whenever we do this again, we'll definitely have to bring that back because you get some real inside scoop there.
Yeah, well, you get to be a jock this week. Charles Schwab Challenge at Colonial, your old stomping grounds. You're going to be on the bag for Wyndham Clark. How nervous are you?
Man, I'm not nervous. He should be nervous. I mean, if he doesn't perform, I'm gonna become a real caddy this week. If we play well, it's we, and if he plays bad, it's him. I'm gonna take all the credit. I'm gonna do everything I can, coach him up. I mean, and I will accept none of the bad stuff. If we don't play well, I'm gonna put it all on Wyndham, just like a normal caddy does. But this will be fun. We've been talking about doing this for a while. Known Wyndham since he was a little pup. Colt, basically raised the kid since he came out of the womb, showed him how to play and how to golf. So this will be like a little father-son stroll around Colonial for the week. And you'll be down there. We'll have to grab a couple and it's going to be a fun week, dude. Been looking forward to it for a while.
If you don't get Wyndham Clark any penalty strokes, it'll be a miracle.
I've been talking with his real caddy, John Ellis, about it for a while. He's like, oh, it's great that fans are back because normally the way Wyndham hits driver, you get to meet so many new people every day. He's like, you'll probably run into some of your old friends. You meet so many people.
Listen, if he hits in the bunker too, you have to put some effort into the rake. Like PGA Tour players expect a perfect rake job.
I know. I'm used to sabotaging the group behind me with just a complete dog shit rake job on the mini tours because I knew someone would hit in there right after me. I have to be a little more on my P's and Q's this week and tighten up that bunker game just a smidge.
You might want to go over the do's and don'ts of caddying. You know, you got to know when you got to grab the pin, when you hand it off to other caddies, stuff like that. So just be on your toes. Don't embarrass us out there because we are a team. Okay, I expect a good performance. Don't go out there and miss the cut because that we can't have that.
Hey, dude, if we miss the cut, it ain't going to be for lack of trying with the sleeves, dude. I'm going to get my guy's mind ready. I know how this horse operates. He's a guy you got to pet a little bit. You can't be giving him the spurs. He likes to be told how good he is, how great he looks. Wow, your swing's so good, all that. So I know all the psychology tricks for Dub. We'll go out there. We're gonna put on a show. We're going to put on a show. Hopefully get paired with Phil. I think we put us with Phil, get the two marquee names out there at the same time. Big time stuff.
All right, well, let's get to our picks for the week. Last week, not our best in the major. Producer Mark, what we got?
Yeah, being that it was the PGA Championship, you guys went with two big dogs. Sleaze with Jordan Spieth with a T30. Colt had Rory McIlroy, T49. Basically 60 to 25,000, closing the lead down to $311,998.
Nothing in it. No change there. Both disappointed in our boys this week. Jordan, I thought, was really going to make a move on Sunday after Saturday. Didn't quite happen. And Rory, after beating that place up, couldn't seem to play the par fives at all, which, I mean, he should eat.
I think he made 8 bogeys on the par fives. 8 sixes. Weird. I mean, that's just – he bogeyed half of them. It's unbelievable. But, hey, I thought in this week, Charles Schwab Challenge at Colonial. Very interested to see you have the honor. Are you going to back yourself?
No. Hard short. Hard short on us. Hard short on us. No disrespect to me. I'm very confident in my abilities. But Wyndham, you never know.
To you and Wyndham.
By the way, Wyndham had a little happening on the course on Sunday with Ellis. We had a little talk about that, a little emotional flare-up, if you will. So we're going to have to tighten that up going into the week. But I'm going with Colin Morikawa for my pick this week, 14-1. Colonial, you know the place. I know it. Driver accuracy, just accuracy off the tee, iron play, wedges. I mean, who better in the world than with the irons in their hand than Colin Morikawa? He was 8th last week at Kiowa, hit it incredible, didn't putt it so hot. 7th at Harbortown earlier this year, which is a golf course that's pretty comparable, I guess, if you're looking for one, and runner-up last year to Daniel Berger. So I'm going to go with the ball-striking machine, Colin Morikawa this week, 14-1.
Yeah, lost in the playoff last year to Daniel Berger by missing a short putt, but that putter was cold for him last week. I believe one round he made 36 feet of putts.
I mean, just tapping in on every hole.
There you go. And he finished 8th, so pretty cool. I'm going to go with a great iron player as well, a man who's due to get his first victory. I mean, it's coming. The man shot 65 Sunday at Kiowa, was home before the television coverage was off. I was like, Abe, you might want to come back. You might be in a playoff if things get really weird out there. But Abraham answered, the guy is just due to hoist a trophy soon. Might as well do it in his home state of Texas. This place sets up perfectly for Abe Answer.
Could not agree more. Great pick for a guy that's coming off the best round of the week at Kiowa. And if he does it, that Fletcher Azul is going to be popping because this thing is coming soon for him. So can't knock that pick at all. It's time for us to shape up, start picking some winners here on this show.
I totally agree with you on that. But I'll tell you what, bring your rain boots, bring all your clothes you don't like because might need a clue to get around Colonial this week. It has not stopped raining for quite a while. I'm here right now. It's raining again, so we might lose. You look at it this way: walking in that soft grass, you might bulk those calves up a little bit.
That's true. They could use a little more girth, a little more width, if I'm being honest. But of course, I get the 1 week on the bag, and it's dumping rain. I'm gonna have to carry that freaking rain gear around every single day. The bag's gonna weigh 100 pounds. I carried it for a couple holes out there at Quail Hollow when I was with you, Colt. It already weighed 100, and it was 80 and sunny and 0% chance of rain. So. The kids need to bulk up a little bit, but I'll be coming back in better shape than I'm going down there in.
Well, best of luck to you. Like I said, don't embarrass us. But
I cannot promise anything in that regard. There's a very good chance I'll do something stupid. If you're out there following us around, come over and talk to me, please. Let's try to. I'll name drop the show if you're afraid of it, since you're a corporate guy.
If I'm following you, that means you're playing well. That's all I can say. They ain't gonna put me out there unless you're doing something special. So I can't wait to see it. I'm gonna be here. Don't miss your flight. Don't show up late. Just be on time. Do your job and get out. Just like this. We're gonna get out. This is the end of this episode. But next week we got a big one. Our man, the X-Man, Xander Schauffele, joins us on Golf Subpar. Everyone have a great week. We'll see you next week.